Tornado Alley by Chera Hammonds, 2013. Tornado Alley. It's a house shaker, cellar thumper, the sort that we are warned about, but not all of us have basements, so we fit into our closets when it comes, just widened out eyes and elbows while the outside air boils and sings with electricity. We grow up with it. Always know this might happen to us, that we will sit in our groaning box in the sea of wind and we'll wait under pillows that must stop whatever pieces of cars pierce the walls. So we have planned ahead, know the safest room. We know that while we wait, the rebar will be ripped from the concrete, the studs will be stripped, sandblasted with topsoil. Hail will beat the nearly wild roses flat. The bells at the non-denominational church will clang like mad yelling saints. The power will flicker. The lights may go out. The garage door thrown off, so the house is a vacuum. But the warning sirens are always a thrill when they start up, the way that families freeze to listen at first. They pause in their meals or their small talk and suddenly hear tree branches already slapping the dust off their houses and the spitting rain that saturates the brick red like it was when it was new, the windows rattling and the mile-long rumble that might not be a freight train. Oh, we know more about meteorology than most. A ridge of low pressure, straight line winds, Gulf moisture were in our bedtime stories. The storm will pass soon. The worst ones wear themselves out fast with their violence, and the morning will sparkle with dew and bent metal. The roots of the cottonwoods like old fingers, finally holding the sky like something they'd hoped for. We have rebuilt now so many times that nobody thinks it's unusual if you never find some of what blew away. We will go outside to see what still stands, meet our neighbors assessing the storm, and what the new day is like, preening in its calm. We'll call it a good day for repairing the damage, a good thing that things were not worse. The weather is our culture, what we have in common, all we really know how to talk about. Tornado by Lenora Castillo. From the Tidewater Baptism Digital Repository, copyright Iowa State University, 1998. When we first see the blue line along the horizon, we think it's smoke rising from a fire, or maybe it's blue rain falling from the dark clouds. We know from the heat and the humidity of the day that it could be a wisp of mad air, a column of air rising, tearing bits of cloud as it spins. We know that it might grow long and twisted like rope that drops to the ground, then whips back and forth as if by some unseen hand. Tornado, Dad says, and we watch it disappear back into the clouds as the storm moves forward across the flat land. We scan the horizon, see the tornado drop, rise, then drop back to the ground. Closer now, the swirling wind picking up dust and dark soil scoured from the newly planted fields. Dad stands in the middle of the yard, reading the clouds, testing the wind and the forward movement of the storm. With no place to hide, we pile into the Ford, thinking we'll be safe if we drive south of its path. In the middle of the tree-lined drive, the explosion of an electric pole stops us. Splinters and sparks rain down on our car that rocks softly, Back and forth in the wind, the oak trees bend forward in deep respect, allowing us to see the flashes of lightning reflected off the sides of the silver grain silo, just before it's sent flying over the fields like a kite. We see the cattle circling the pens, open-mouthed, bellowing, but we hear nothing but the roar. The Tornado by Irene Latham. The story comes grumbling over the hill. It tumbles hailstones and cracks tree trunks. It craves front-page news. So, it musters all speed and muscle. It tears across Main Street, steals shingles and unparks cars. It whirls, whistles, screams, and teams with twists no one sees coming. We huddle, hunch, brace ourselves for the end. When sunshine arrives, we unfold, emerge. Our words echo and soothe as we join hands with our neighbors. Together, we sift through rubble to shape a new story. It rises like hallelujah as a goldfinch gathers thistle to rebuild its nest.